Welcome back, everyone. The Conversation's live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. For our radio audience tuning in at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, we're glad that you all can be with us. Also joining us online worldwide via our podcast. We're glad you all could be with us as well. We're excited to welcome best-selling author Cynthia Leitich Smith to our broadcast today. Cynthia is celebrating her newest book for readers who are looking for characters that are not only entertaining but also helps them be seen. It's called On a Wing and a Tear. We're going to talk to Cynthia not only about the amazing response to her books in the past, but also the newest book, which you'll be able to take away from these characters, and also the story that I think will resonate with people of all ages. If you guys are not staying connected with Cynthia, we'll let you know how to be able to do that as well. But Cynthia, thank you again for spending some time with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be here.
Hey, the pleasure's definitely all mine. And as I said in my introduction, Cynthia, I think one of the great things about your books that I have definitely been able to see for myself personally is that you are able to create characters that are not only engaging, but as I mentioned, allow people to be able to be seen and to be able to know that what they're feeling, how they see the world matters as well. What has that been like for you as a storyteller to be able to write books that are not only entertaining, but also, of course, get people talking about the issues that you're able to address?
A lot of my stories are centered on contemporary Native people. Indigenous folks. I'm a tribally enrolled citizen of Muskogee Nation and a Cherokee descendant. And so much of the big mass media imagery of us is of people who are extinct or trapped in the past, but, we're very much still here. We are still shopping at Target. We may very well be your dentist. We are part of the past, the present, and the future. My goal is really just to tell stories, oftentimes daily life stories or even fantastical stories that simply show that humanity, a full range of emotion and three-dimensional characters and page-turning narratives. Kids who are very close to their grandparents, families that are also military families, urban families, res families, folks who are living their best lives, and young heroes who are really making a difference in their communities and for the people that they care about.
I'm so glad to hear you say that latter part, Cynthia, young heroes, because I think that's the other thing about books like On a Wing and a Tear is that young people are able to see how they can make an impact, how they can make a difference, and how they also matter. Talk to us a little bit, Cynthia, if you don't mind, for those who may just be discovering you. When did you first discover your love of storytelling yourself?
I was a public library kid. My mama took me every Saturday morning to the public library. It was an activity that fit well into our garage sale mac and cheese budget, and books were always there for me. I was very shy when I was little. I was an only child who had a billion cousins, but if you took me out of that immediate loving circle, I could get very quiet. So books were both my window to the world and my way of testing my adventurous spirit. I loved Mixed Up Files and Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler. Had I ever been to New York City? Not really, but I felt like I had, and that opened a wider world for me when I was really soul-searching about what I wanted to do with my life and what had made the most positive difference for me outside of my parents, my grands, my greats, aunties, and uncles, all of those warm and loving people. It was really being welcomed into the world of books, welcome into the library as though I was a citizen, in a way, of literature from a very, very young age. And that was something that I felt that I could give to kids moving forward. They may not have those same kind of loving relationships in their life, but at the very least, I could give them to them on the page.
Yeah. There is, I think, something very special about the newest book, Cynthia, in that regard, because it really shows not only, of course, what is possible, but also the importance of resilience. We see that in an unlikely character that makes an appearance in the beautiful cover of the book, and that is Bat. I love the fact that when it comes to Bat as well as Great Squirrel, we're able to also get another layer of being seen, being appreciated for what you have to offer. Talk to us about the new book. What was the kind of the spark that kind of made you write this one?
Well, it's a contemporary story. It's a road trip adventure with hijinks and nefarious vloggers and a mysterious creature we call Jepko, you may know as Bigfoot. So there is a lot of that. At the same time, there is this thread of hope and healing. The character of Bat comes from traditional, old stories of the Muskogee people. Bat is a famous ball player. Back in the day, when there was a game between the birds and the animals, all the animals said Bat was too small to make a difference, but Bat was the one who won the ball game for them by flying high and catching the ball in his teeth. It gives you a real advantage when you're playing against birds if you're the only one who can do that. And what do our children take away from that story, right? They see themselves as the little one. They may see themselves as the different one because we all feel awkward and like we don't fit in sometimes. But they also know that little ones are valuable. Little ones can make a difference. Little ones should be included in our celebrations, our communities, our game playing at all times. So by putting these young heroes, Melanie and Ray, who are best friends, in a position that they can help Bat, who's now a great-grandfather Bat, to return home to the Muskogee traditional lands outside of Macon, Georgia, at the Okmulgee Mounds, which is now a national park. They, as young heroes, as littler people in our big society, are able to be heroes just like that.
I don't know if this is giving too much away, so it's totally up to you how you want to answer this, Cynthia, but do you want to talk about the significance of the tear with Bat?
Well, Bat has torn his wing, and so he is verging on being able to play, but not if he flies all the way across the continent. So he needs their help. And they, in turn, go to their grandfather thinking, this is going to be an awkward conversation. A talking Bat just reached out to us. It turns out that Grandpa Half-Moon and Bat have been friends for years. They're delighted to see each other. Grandpa doesn't hesitate to load up the truck, get the kids in. Fortunately, it is spring break, so we're gonna hit the highway. And along the way, they have plenty of adventures. You know, the truck, it's a little rickety. There might be some problems there. We're going to be camping. We're going to be seeing friends and family along the way. There's even a hint of romance for Grandpa as he's reunited with his high school sweetheart. And, you know, we have this Estes Jetco in the background sort of watching over them as vloggers catch a wind of talking animals and think, ha-ha, that is how I will make my fortune. So, you know, we've got a little bit of conflict, but there is a certain amount of folksiness to it. I would say it's not my grandparents' voice narrating there. It has that kind of timeless storytelling rhythm to it.
Yeah. One of my favorite lines in the book, Cynthia, is, and I think kind of dispelling stereotypes, is when Mel's mom asks Gray Squirrel, do you bite? And the squirrel says, do you? I love that.
I know. Poor little Gray Squirrel. She feels affronted, right? Oh, and she was so much fun.
So I love the dynamics
you think
of
about
the characters.
Yeah,
I love that.
Humor, I think, is how we tell stories.
Right.
Storytelling is what connects us, and humor is the next higher level of that. If you can laugh together, you really do have a shared heart.
I think that's such a great point. Again, everyone, Cynthia Leitich Smith has been our guest. On a Wing and a Tear is the book. You can get it, of course, to our friends at Amazon.com or, of course, to your favorite local bookstore if they don't have it. I know they'll be more than happy to order it for you. Cynthia, how can our audience stay connected with you?
I'm on the web at CynthiaLeidichSmith.com, or you can ask for my books, as you say, at any public library or bookstore.
All right, Cynthia, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Congratulations again on the new book, and looking forward to our next chat together.
Thank you.
More than welcome. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing.